Welcome back to Movie Nights, everyone! We're gonna cast a sexy spell. If you've been following me since the Obscurus Lupa Presents days, you might remember a little movie marathon I did covering the Witchcraft films. And if you don't know what the Witchcraft movie series is, hoo boy, you are in for a treat. Witchcraft is one of the longest-running horror series ever made, centering on the character of Will Spanner, a warlock lawyer slash detective slash psychic slash whatever the movie needs, who alternates between battling the magic within himself, various reincarnated incestuous family members, sometimes vampires, and a whole slew of people claiming to work for Satan, but are probably just posers and want to end the world for brownie points. He is assisted in most cases by detectives Lutz and Garner, one of whom changes genders between films, but listen, the plot isn't what Witchcraft is most concerned with. They gotta get lots of boobs in there, and maybe some magic might happen. But first, get some knockers on screen. No dicks. When I first covered these movies, there were 13 of them spanning 20 years, and I know the last review was only 4 years ago, but it feels like 20 to me. I went through 1 year, 2 hair colors, and 2 houses during the span of those videos. Now I'm older, wiser, I comb my hair a little better, and I know how to sit in a skirt. Could it be the true character development was my own all along? Anyway, Witchcraft 13 was in 2008, and they'd made sort of an attempt to tie up all the loose ends and wrap everything up, but guess what? We've got 3 more movies now, bitches! And they were all filmed back to back, so you know the quality is there. And so, I'm filming all of my reviews back to back, fuck it. Just a refresher, as if you didn't know the plot of Witchcraft 13, the last one ended with Will Spanner defeating his evil reincarnated sister, but at the price of his own soul, giving in to the dark magic he'd fought his entire life. Well, that seems not to have happened now, so just ignore that movie. And going along with Witchcraft's confusing timeline that somehow shifts everything into the future, taking out the years between Witchcraft 13 and 14, that places these movies about in 2024. I'm not gonna make any more predictions about the future, because I said 2016 was gonna be great, and that year fucking blew. The year 2016 is looking good, folks. I can say 2024 looks an awful lot like 2008, and these were filmed in 2016, so I'm a little bit befuddled. And good news, future me in editing! The opening and closing credits are pretty damn long, so you've got less movie to cover. Look guys, I can't be any lazier than the actual film. They straight up just used VHS grabs not only of the company logo, but of the opening title as well, and Witchcraft 13 had even moved on by that point. Witchcraft 14, Angel of Death. Yes, indeedy, Will Spanner is back, and oh, we will get to him. But the true main character of this trilogy of sorts is a young woman named Rose. Rose is a new witch who, while discovering her powers, ends up entangled in a plot involving an evil yoga studio and a coven of dark witches. Evil yoga studio. Evil, crooked yoga studio. Rose immediately endears herself to the audience by murdering her cheating boyfriend and his mistress with her mind.
Damn you, Jenny Brooks!
Damn you, Jenny Brooks! Don't worry about Rose, guys. The murder's okay because she only accidentally did it. She didn't know she had powers. But her mom totally knew she had powers and is absolutely responsible for these deaths.
I'm sure you had nothing to do with this woman's death.
She's beginning to know her powers.
They have a line about her accidentally killing someone as far back as elementary school, so I don't know if she's only just beginning to know them. But that brings me to some great news. Lutz and Garner are back too! I love these non-agent sex-changing fools. Granted, neither of them are the best Lutzes or Garners we've seen, but I appreciate the return to form Witchcraft.
Oh my god, you're giving me such a headache. You're just so stupid.
If dessert's included, you got yourself a deal.
Is that on your diet?
I'm done with that. There's too many vegetables and I'm not some damn rabbit.
He's fat. After almost 30 years, Lutz and Garner have finally accepted that Witchcraft is real, which is some true character growth, Witchcraft 14.
Can you account for your whereabouts for the past 2 nights?
I was with my mom, so...
So that's a no.
This seems worth shooting her for. Case closed. Classic Garner. Here's the rest of our rogues gallery. There's Samuel, who, spoiler alert, is the titular angel of death. He wears a weenie-looking turtleneck and, mostly tries to convince the audience he's straight. I could be wrong, I just don't buy that he's attracted to any of these women. As the Angel of Death is wont to do, he runs a yoga studio that practices black magic. Everyone who goes there apparently knows this is a coven of some sort that doesn't actually appear to do any magic and straight up just does yoga.
And we found that through yoga, we can unlock certain abilities within ourselves.
And then there's Tara. Tara is a delight. I'm not really quite sure on the acting, but she just seems happy to be there. You know, like an excited squirrel.
I'd love to have power like you do.
I don't even have the power to remember where I buried my knife.
Even though I had my mom's understanding, ever since the witch hunters murdered her, I've been pretty lost.
I'm super bummed about my mom being murdered.
Then we have Sharon, aka Sleepy. Oh, Sleepy. If you could encapsulate everything about a middle schooler in the early 2000s, mix in some Fall Out Boy, a Hot Topic, and massive amounts of weed, you'd get Sleepy.
But that'll teach him to think twice about coming back here.
A warlock?
That's what I like to hear. A real can-do attitude.
Tough talk, bitch.
Cool villain, dudes. But who I really want to tell you about is New William. No lie, he's one of my favorite Williams now. I didn't even know it was supposed to be him at first. I was waiting for the real protagonist to show up. If Zoolander and Chris Angel had a teleporter accident, out would come this guy.
Have they found any connections?
Only Rose.
And now her mom is missing? Hey, did I miss anything? I take it I didn't miss anything?
If you want to talk about Lost in 2008, New Will here is a shining example. William's occupation is dubiously unspecified here. He's possibly officially a PI now, but I don't know how many PIs walk around looking like they're the lost member of the Ghost Adventures crew. These orbs are clearly witches. This cannot be debunked.
He can hear you.
I don't give a shit.
He's played by Ryan Cleary in all three of these movies, the Night 3 generation of Will, who doesn't have a huge selection of credits like most of the folks in these. But in high school, he was a sponsored skateboarder, professional surfer, and model, so hey, good for him. His acting is hilarious. It is truly a joy to watch him work. He made these movies for me. He's constantly just wide-eyed and concerned, like Joe Estevez's lost son.
Do you know the name Will Spanner?
A warlock of light.
Ah yes, a warlock of light, who was foretold to be the most powerful evil warlock ever and ended the last movie giving in to his evil urges. A true warlock of light. With all of this prophecy nonsense over the last 13 movies, you'd think the Angel of Death would have heard of Will by now. He's called in by an old witch friend, Greta, who's played by a random coven member in Witchcraft 13, making her the sole returning cast member. And if you recall what happens to William's old witch friends, you know she doesn't make it.
It's about Greta. She's passed away.
What? No!
Oh man, this guy is so good. Lutz and Garner just assume she died of old age, so they're the same fucking worst detectives in the world they always were.
No, that sweet old lady, I don't see it. So how is this a suspicious murder? The woman almost killed over right in front of us. The old ticker just ticked in.
What age do they think this woman is? Apparently clueless Rose is the chosen one or whatever, so Sleepy lures her into the yoga studio coven with the super tempting business card and the boob trick. Sweet, innocent Rose is going down the wrong path. This is right after her mom is suspiciously kidnapped and a blood pentagram is left on the wall, by the way, but she's investigating the best way she knows how. By joining a yoga studio. A yoga studio that dictates that people can live in your missing mom's house with you? Live, laugh, love. That's what my coven always says. How are witches supposed to practice yoga magic if they can't even fit inside the building? While we're mentioning their cool shooting areas, Lutz and Garner's cardboard office is amazingly pathetic, pieced together with tape, glue, and a lot of hope. They didn't even make an additional cardboard wall for flipped scenes. I mean, there's a really distinct tape fold. You're not gonna hide that. I wish we could afford real walls, but not on a cop's salary. Am I right, Lutz? And maybe they shouldn't show close-ups of these medical forms if they're gonna pretend they're yoga studio member lists.
If you hear anything, please give us a call.
At our makeup effects guy studio.
Rose's wholesome sisterly stuff with the coven includes giving random women nosebleeds and painstaking migraines to yoga oglers. This is a super secret magic bedroom yoga class of 5. How did the guy keep sneaking in to check them out?
Sharon, that perv's here again today.
Pianky perv. One thing you're also gonna notice is that this movie is pretty greasy. You've got a shower scene that leads nowhere, yellow lighting, everyone's sweaty all the time, and several characters never appear to change out of their clothes. Especially Sleepy. She just lives in that crop top and yoga pants for months, I guess, and they looked kinda nasty to begin with. The 2 main draws of the Witchcraft series, 3 if you count the tweeters twice, are the horror elements and the sex scenes, and those are kind of lacking here. Almost all of the gore in these 3 movies are people spitting up blood, and honestly, the sex in these new ones, pretty lame. I mean, the ones here are generally just through the underwear or pants makeouts. Don't get me wrong, I'm glad I don't have to sit through 7-minute long triple sex / nasty tub scenes, but I'm just curious about their target market. At this point, it's just about keeping the numbers up. But I can't be the only one still following the Witchcraft story, right? Right? Anyway, the Angel of Death has been exiled to Earth and wants to use Rose's powers to help him resurrect his true form. What this has to do with anything we've heard him talking about previous to this, who knows?
She is one of the 7.
She will become a powerful weapon in our fight. Callie will rise.
Who are the 7 and who is Callie? Literally, this never comes up.
We've got the girl.
Very well. Proceed as planned.
Thank you, apparent person who was working for me. Also, they're gonna kill her mom if she doesn't do what they say, but oh well, she dies anyway. No, not mom! He probably shouldn't have killed her before he got what he wanted from Rose. Just a helpful suggestion. Props to the guy who played Samuel though, you know, he was trying. This was his moment. Lutz, Garner, and Will show up thanks to an anonymous tip we, the audience, aren't ever privy to, and Will knows exactly what's going on, also for reasons they don't share with us, so we can see cool effects like this. Looks like I had to read the Angel of Death so googly tonight. Hey, you want to know how to out-strategize evil in a magic battle? Just keep shooting! Never bring magic to a gunfight. This is consistent with the other Witchcraft sequels, though, in that guns are way more effective than spells. Then things just get confusing. Sleepy and Tara show up and act like they don't know what's going on, which might have worked to fool our main characters if Sleepy wasn't there with Samuel.
Tough talk, bitch.
Did Rose just forget about that little detail, or... Sorry I left. I had to run away and change my shirt finally.
It has begun.
What's begun? Who was that? This doesn't play into the next movie at all. What is happening?
Nice!
And thus concludes, a movie? It's incredibly cheap, which isn't new for Witchcraft by now, but it kinda surprises me how bad continuity is, even just in this one film. And that's not including the next 2, by the way, which get even more baffling. And since they were all filmed back to back, I just got nothing. I will say some of the acting was really funny though, and it wasn't the worst of the Witchcraft series by far, so for that alone, I felt it was worth the watch. I also appreciated the return of Lutz and Garner. No matter who plays them, they're fun to have around. Definitely check out the new William, he's hilarious. I might even put him just under Charles Solomon Jr. as far as ranking Williams goes for me, and that's a high compliment. And we've got 2 more movies coming, so stay tuned.
What? No!